What? Yeah, I started it. And then you. Hi, Stan, this is Crystal. I've started your meeting and I'm waiting for Gail to join. I don't know if you can hear me. Hi, Stan, this is Crystal. I don't know if you can hear me, but I've started the Zoom meeting. I'm waiting for Gail to join and she's trying to do that now. Yep, we can go to the park. Yeah. I received water and ironic. Awesome.
Hi,
Hi,
Crystal.
Gail. This is Crystal. Hi.
Hi.
I'm going to make you the host.
Yep.
I'm somewhere in the middle of West Virginia.
Okay.
So let me make you the host. All right, Gail, I think you're the host now.
Yes, I am. I'll take over. Enjoy.
Great. Thank you. Thanks. Have a good meeting.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, gang.
Hi there. Let me just, let's see, fill in our rename us. HDC, change Stan, rename. Change Jeremy, rename. Change BC, change. All right. We're up to date so far. Back out of everything. It was a precarious start. Crystal was on the road, so we weren't sure if it was going to work remotely.
Do you have anybody to back her up?
Evidently not, in terms of starting the meetings. So they used to have they used to have two people, but now only one. How are you, Jeremy?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Doing well. Very well. Wish it would warm up a little bit, but other than that.
Yeah, wasn't too bad today. If you were in the sunshine.
Dry
Yes.
and cool over the torrential downpour.
Let's see, I expect that we'll have Earl and probably Toby should join us.
Yeah, Toby's pretty reliable. Well, so is Earl, but
Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to email or text him to remind him just in case. Let's see. It's been very quiet so far in terms of applications this year. I fear that they're all going to come rolling in all at once.
Yeah. It's the slowest I can remember.
Yeah, yeah. They're having trouble. Did either of you have any trouble getting in?
No,
Yeah, the meeting ID in the Word document didn't quite work for me. I had to go to the Zoom browser platform and then enter that ID and passcode.
Yeah,
In
Yeah,
Monks, just popped right open, but
I-
I'm sure
yeah.
everybody will figure it out.
yeah. I don't know why it didn't transfer it as a live link for me, but it didn't. I tried it as well and had to type in the meeting code and pass. The meeting ID and passcode.
I think that's what I always do. I don't know. Computers and me don't get along very well. I can send Toby a text.
Yep, why don't you do that?
Toby and I could take a couple of tin cans and some string between our two houses.
You go up on your roof and share a Zoom. He could use binoculars.
Yeah,
Is he in the cul-de-sac or is he across the street?
no, he's right next door.
Oh,
Remember the house that had all the Christmas lights?
that's right. That's right. And Jeremy, you live where in town?
Barlow Cemetery.
Oh, yeah.
You hadn't heard anything from Earl, but
Now we heard from him earlier. I heard from him last week with the minutes.
yeah, so he
Right.
knows.
Haven't heard since. He didn't say he wasn't going to make the meeting, so I'd expect it. Until give him another minute or so. We're gonna go over the procedures tonight, so it'd be good if Toby could be here.
Yeah. Nothing from him yet.
Well, 5 minutes in, there are 3 of us, which officially makes it a quorum. So we can wind our way through the agenda, and hopefully he will join us at that point by the time we get to those
Okay,
that part of it. And I guess I'll take minutes. Call to order at 6:35 with Stan, Jeremy, and Gail. All right. No alternates need appointments. Did you have a chance to eat? Did you both have a chance to look at the minutes?
yes. It's all right to me.
Yep.
If, which point I'll take a motion to approve.
Also move.
And Jeremy, will you second?
I certainly will.
Great. And are we all in favor? Yes.
Aye.
That takes care of that. Correspondence. I heard back from Brad Scheid, who is the circuit rider for the Connecticut Preservation. And I had written to him to ask him about funding for the historic district signs. Jeremy, that's something you probably read in the minutes we discussed at the last meeting, was see what we could do to move forward with that project. And also to ask about if they knew of any funding that might help us to begin to form anything that might help us form the beginnings of the sidewalk project. In terms of the sign, he said that there is money. We're part of Connecticut local government, so there should be state historic preservation funds for the sign, for the signs. So the next step is to contact the SHPO office and get that going, find out what's required of us to apply for the funding.
Okay,
And then in terms of the sidewalk, he said that's nothing that they have any idea about. He believed that in Woodstock it's town, and I looked up the ordinance and regulations, and it's actually the residents and the town combined. But he did suggest I also talked to the Historic Preservation Office on that and see if they had any ideas of where we might go to begin to, for the project.
you
No.
think Chris Sanford and the academy could put some pressure, because kids walk down it?
Right. Well, the kids don't walk down the hill very much.
Right.
Oh, but they're walking that sidewalk.
Not too often during the day.
Well,
They
I was trying to get a coffee at the orchard one day, and about 30 of them came in with
Right.
their teacher.
That's let's see. Yes, that's not school related though. So what we need to do is put together a project that involves lots of different entities in the hill. So the academy would be one of them. The potentially, we'd wrangle in the orchard. We'd talk about expanding the sidewalk up to Sweet Evelina's. It would be traffic calming measures. The town would be involved. Probably the church would be involved, because it would mean, for crossing safety. So we try and put together try and identify as many people that would be interested as possible.
Yeah,
And that would be, I think, from talking to folks, it appears to be about the only way that something like that is going to happen, that it's a bigger project than just fixing the sidewalk, and that it has to involve traffic calming and safety, other additional safety measures. Because part of the big problem is going to be when I talked to the other circuit rider and we looked at the sidewalks, part of the problem is the fact that so many of them, the sections are heaved because of tree roots.
Yep.
And those are those big old maples that are there. So it's not merely a matter of jackhammering out the old pieces of 100-year-old pieces of concrete and putting replacements in. It's going to be about leveling and what needs to be done and how to deal with the trees.
I know.
So it's a big project. So I think if we think, in talking to a couple of people, it seems to be if we think big about it, then we probably have a better chance. We won't get it all, wouldn't get all of it, but you're able to tap into larger pools of money potentially, or at least apply for into bigger pools of money when you're doing much more than just patching up your sidewalk.
Right.
So I'll just keep picking away at it and seeing if I can find a way in, who's going to be the font of information that's going to help with some really good ideas, and probably end up contacting. And once I have some information about how the district can play a part more, then it'll be talking to the town. So going to them with some ideas and then seeing what they think.
Okay.
So that's that. Contacted by Synexic Grange, who is, and we'll talk about them in a minute, but they've got a project coming up, and so they contacted us about that. That's my correspondence. No public comment. No project consultations. Old business is project updates, which I just basically gave you. And I think I'll hold off on the intro for new commission members till I've just hit the new business. And we'll use the new business, which is the Synexic Grange, as part of the intro for Jeremy.
I just heard from Toby.
Yes.
He says, whoops, in the middle of dinner with guests.
Oh dear. Well, okay, this will be recorded and he'll be able to see it. So we're just going to go ahead anyway then. Let me get rid of this and go to full screen. So the Synexic Grange, Jeremy, is a perfect example of the beginnings of a project. They've contacted us about a project that they have in mind. In this case, they want to put a pellet stove in their basement, which has nothing to do with us, but they also are going to install a stovepipe. And they don't think it's visible from the road, but they want to make sure, and also want to know that, and that also make sure that they don't need an application for a certificate of appropriateness. And that's the threshold. If it's something that's visible from a road, then,
Sure.
and it's a change rather than a like for like replacement, then it needs a certificate.
Right.
So my response to them was, yep, we'll talk about it tonight, and someone will assign someone to take a look at the location and decide whether or not it needs an application.
Yeah, I'm willing and able.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
me too, of course. I'm
maybe
close.
the two of you could coordinate, because Stan has a real good sense of the visible from the road means, and you've never had to deal with it. So that's good on the job training.
Sure.
Okay, that works really well. I'll put Jeremy. So I will
My
text.
phone number, Jeremy, at the end.
Yep.
And what I'll do is email them back and say, and give them, Stan, I'll give you your number, and I'll step out and you guys coordinate when to take a look. The sense is it probably won't be visible, but it's the follow-up that we need to do to make sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's the ideal situation. Someone's got a project in mind and they come to us just in, that's that project consultation category, to talk about it, determine. So let's just say, for example, someone wants to replace their front door and they're gonna do a new door. It's not only new material, but it's going to look different. And they'll come in and talk to us about it, and we'll ask to see potentially some drawings to help guide them in their final choice of a door before they come to us. Because once they have filed an application, then the clock starts ticking. And
Sure.
we've got 60 days to have made a decision. And sometimes changes need to be made in their proposal, in their plans, and we run out of that 60 days, at which point we have to deny the application and they have to start all over again. Now, it's merely a matter of going in the next day and filing a new application, and there's no fee for it, for
Mhm.
filing an application, and there's no no harm, no foul by the denial. Usually we deny without prejudice, which means, you know, just reapply. However, it's just more tedious for them. So that's why we really encourage discussion ahead of time, so that when the application is filed, it's pretty much straightforward. It goes through process and gets, the project can get approved. So that's that ideal situation. When we do the procedure for an application comes in, then it becomes also a legal public hearing. And the next meeting is the meeting at which we will hear the application. It's got to be posted in the newspaper 5 days before. The legal notice has to appear 5 days before the date of the meeting. So with newspaper deadlines, that's why usually I tell people I've got to have information. I've got to have applications by the 10th of the month. Anything after that is going to automatically default into the next month's meeting. If somebody is up against a deadline, like they're filing an application and the contractor's starting in 7 days
Yep.
type thing,
So,
that's a real bind. We try and accommodate. We try and put together a special meeting. If I can get a quorum together, we can do a special meeting. But this is again another example of why we would appreciate the consultation before the homeowner puts things into motion, because it's just because we hold a special meeting doesn't mean that their project's going to be approved. So they
Mhm.
could have everything set up and we could not approve the application, and causes bad feelings, and they're in a pinch. So project consultations are always the best. On the day of the public hearing, that's the after appointment of alternates, the public hearing is the third item on our agenda. So it's really the first thing we do. And then it's like a meeting within a meeting. And we call the public hearing to order. And then I explain the rules, and then the applicant presents their project. And the commission then has an opportunity to tease out and pull out as much information as we need about the project from the applicant to be able to make a determination.
Right.
Because it's a public hearing, once we've finished our questioning, then there's also space for public comment, should there be any. And then there's also space for the applicant to respond to public comment. And then we come back with a final group of questions. And then if we're satisfied we have all the information we need, then we close the public hearing part of it. And then it's time for our deliberation. And then at that point, the applicant can't speak any further, can't answer any further questions, which is
Yep.
why it's really important for us to get all that information before we formally close the public hearing. And then we discuss it. And sometimes there's a lot of discussions. Sometimes we're pretty much immediately in agreement. And then we make our determination whether or not we're going to approve or deny the application. The third option for us is that if we still feel we're unresolved or we still have outstanding questions, then we could vote to continue the public hearing to the following month. And then we go back, once we've made that determination, then we go back to the applicant and tell them what more information we feel we need to be able to adequately reach a determination.
Yep.
And then that wraps it up for us. Sometimes these 15 minutes, at other times, for more complicated projects, they can last a while, but on average, I'd say it's 15, 20 minutes for a public hearing on a project. Yeah. We like to have the applicant, if there's plans, send the plans to me ahead of time so that I can distribute the plans to you all. So you get a chance to study them ahead of time. Again, that's also part of that project consultation. We like to see it all up front. Sometimes it's a good idea for us to go walk the site. We've met from time to time, or we've taken or individually gone to sites to take a look, whether it's just take a look at the exterior or just get a sense of what everything looks like, so that we are better informed to make our deliberation. If if more than two of us meet at the same time at a place, it constitutes, it's a meeting. So we try to be pretty careful about that, but every once in a while it's actually necessary. And so then we just set up special meeting, which we can set up really pretty quickly if we're in agreement on the time and place. And then more than two of us can meet together.
Yep.
So, and did I miss anything, Stan?
I don't think you've ever missed anything, Gail.
Thank
Oh, good job.
Thank you. Any questions, Jeremy? Does that all make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And I know Toby managed to copy. He managed to copy all the pages of the book. I think it was just a matter of the way it was, of turning the whole thing into one giant PDF instead of individual PDFs.
Okay. If
So that
either
book,
one of you talk to him, if he needs any help, I'm more than happy to help out.
okay, we'll let him know that you'd be happy to consult on that. Because I know he was trying to figure out how to do that. It ended up evidently that he had to scan each page individually.
Sure. I have a complete licensed copy of Adobe, so I can do everything in PDF.
Oh.
So it's actually a 10-minute task.
Oh, okay. Then I'll let him know. I'll email him tonight, or maybe since he's got house guests, I'll email him tomorrow and let him know that you've got the software to be able to do that.
Sure.
Good. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. If we deny an application, as I said, they can reapply. Usually when we deny, we need to state a reason. And we also, as just part of our basic procedures and what we like to do, when we deny an application, we make sure we're talking to the applicant that evening to explain not only why we're denying it, but objects, to compromise with, if there's issues, to compromise with the applicant and make sure that, and try and get them the best outcome under the circumstances that's possible. So. Yeah, it looked like for some reason my internet was unstable for some reason, so I
That's
don't know
okay.
why.
I'll catch
Joe?
up on anything I missed.
Okay, so that's, I think that should cover just about everything. And we'll, you know, we're always mindful of the fact that when we're doing Zoom meetings, there are live recordings.
Yep.
And so we want to make sure that we're providing good information to the applicants. And like I said, our main job is to help them accomplish what they want and at the same time, our overarching mission is to protect the historic nature of the character defining features of the district. And so that's it.
Yep.
So I have nothing else on the agenda. Do either of you have something to bring up?
No, but I'm hungry.
I can't help you there, Stan. I cooked double last night so I could come home from work and gobble. So
Good. I have leftovers.
there you go. All right.
All right.
Anything from you, Jeremy?
No, ma'am. I did email both of you my cell phone number just so you have it handy and you don't have to go looking for my application to find that.
Good.
Stan, I look forward to hearing from you. We'll get over
Okay.
to Range and get them taken care of.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'll forward the email that the person from the Grange sent me. I'll forward that to both of you. And then we'll get that organized and done for.
Thank you.
All right.
Will their contact information be in there too? Because it'd be
That's
good if
the-
they were there when we were.
Well, yeah, that's what I will send you. I'll send you the email that they sent me. And
Okay.
so that will should allow you to contact them.
All right.
Because she said, I think it was a woman who said she would be, I can check now, who said she'd be happy. This will probably mess up my meeting. Oh yeah, hold on. Who said she would be, she was writing to be able to meet us. So 2 seconds.
We'll figure it out.
Okay. Earl's out of town, so that says why he can't come. It's next to Grange. Amy Monahan, and her contact information is there, so you should be able to set something up.
Okay.
All right, thank you both. Good to see you, and unless something comes up, I'll see you at the end for the May meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
We have to have a motion to adjourn.
Oh, that's right, we do need that, don't we? Good on you, Stan. Looking for a motion to adjourn.
Also move.
I'll second.
And Jeremy, all in favor? Aye. All right,
Okay, good night, folks.
we are due to say good night, folks.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.